This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Previously on the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hey man, who you gonna call to come get a pit bull out of a gang's yard? A crazy white girl?
Oh yeah, you're in for it tonight, Ray. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. Hey, 201! And we have lost none of the momentum from 200, well, except for Will. He's still recovering from St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the goatee from New Jersey now, because it's more than a stash.
Yes, it's everything from New Jersey. It's Charlie, the Professor Esser.
And, like I said, no Queen of the Armadillos in Florida, but we have King of the Koalas from Australia. It is...
Hey, how you going, everyone? It's Ray. I'm very honoured to be back. I'm honoured to be back on 201. This is pretty cool.
Hey, we're talking Falcon Winter Soldier tonight. When Lil said she was taking her little alcoholic sabbatical, I knew I had to bring you in. It worked out good, because I'm like, she's not a big fan of, like, the Captain America and this thing, so I'm like, but I know Ray will be excited for her.
Yeah, I've noticed with your comic reviews, the levels of energy that Lilith kind of brings to the table.
She still won't let me hear the end of that. She's like, I will cover whatever you want. She's like, just no more Captain America. I'm like, okay. All right, but yeah, we were just talking offline before we jump into the review. Ray, I mean, Charlie and I have been giving our thoughts weekly on WandaVision. What were your thoughts on WandaVision?
Yeah, I just also, I guess, another little shout out to a fellow podcasting show. I've been listening to Fandom Zone with Charlie Skaggs and Jesse Jackson and DJ Nick. Yep. Really great coverage over there. So I left some thoughts on just the last few episodes, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I think my experience was partly marred by, and this is no one's real fault but my own, kind of marred by having these expectations that I convinced myself I would see, and when they didn't turn up, it was like, so I was a little disappointed in that regard, but retrospectively, it was it was very fun and a very different show, so I really enjoyed it.
What, just like the constant, it's Mephisto this, Mephisto that. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Didn't they say it was like rated PG or whatever? It wasn't even PG-13.
I never thought there was going to be a Mephisto.
No.
Yeah, I didn't think there was. The thing I was waiting for, which I think was, I guess there are levels of expectations and stuff, and we were talking just beforehand, Phil and Charlie, about, I said, I think some of the expectations were unreasonable, like way out there, which is, as you say, Charlie, half the fun. But there are different levels. So I thought, I was expecting Doctor Strange to show up. I felt that was like a nice connection to the show or to the film. But yeah, when he didn't show up, it was kind of like, and we had those two post-credit scenes. So after the first one, okay, it's about Skrulls, and then I waited until the end. It's like, we got another one, cool. Yes. Surely he's going to be in the cabin, but no.
Just sir, because well, I mean, and to be fair, if he showed up, then it would set up too much of the movie, and depending on how they want to approach the movie, maybe they don't want him to be there.
I mean,
like I said, if we're going to center on Mordo, I actually think Agatha in Westview makes a really good lead-in for that. So that Mordo finding Agatha and Agatha telling him about the Scarlet Witch is a method to sort of go send him after her to basically avoid having to, fight him in her weakened state. I think that is a real possibility. Yeah. And, they did say that when they wrote it that they did want to leave it open that they could eventually get back to that mentorship role for Agatha. And so that's what I'm hoping for. Because that was probably my biggest disappointment.
But I mean,
was that they made Agatha much more malevolent than I really felt the character should have been.
Right.
I mean,
I think
I was gonna say, did I miss it, or in some of those movie credits, they were always like, so and so will return in whatever movie, or will return. I mean, I'm surprised in the credits they didn't just put Wanda will return in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness or whatever.
Didn't they? Or
I thought they did.
Unless I
no,
missed
they
it.
didn't. No,
maybe I just thought I saw it because I know she will, And to be fair, there's also just the very real reality that maybe they're not doing that as much anymore,
Or
now
unless
there's a much more open-ended universe.
Or unless they didn't want to do it with a bunch of people, because I think they said Wanda and Vision are going to be in Doctor Strange. I think they said Monica's going to show up in Captain Marvel too. So
well, they certainly set that up. Yeah.
And certainly that is a real problem with that and also, to be fair, they may not know where they're going to show up next. Because as has been pointed out, this was not supposed to be the first thing. This was supposed to come out after Eternals. Yep. That's like, this was supposed to be, it just got lucky that it got finished and produced first, because it was all shot on sound stages and the like, without a lot of big fights, so that it actually could get done. And they said, well, we got to put out something. And so it got pushed to the front. And for what it's worth, it worked out perfectly for them. That is like the best happy accident. Because, it established what we will call this it established a community of fandom, which is what I think they really want out of Disney Plus, is to build that community.
Oh, they got it.
Because the whole idea is, just get everyone be a part of it, and we can all gather once a week now.
Sorry, I think another token, though, as well, and that's a really good point, Charlie, because it has generated so much buzz amongst the community. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's speculating, but we'll get into, I guess, talking the new show, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and you can kind of see how that was meant to be the first Disney Plus show. It's such a great bridge between the TV shows and the MCU. So when I watched the first episode, it's like, oh yeah, I can see exactly why this one was meant to kick things off. But WandaVision works well. Yeah,
I think it worked.
Well.
I think it worked out good, because I think they that the one article say WandaVision takes place before Falcon and Winter Soldier though. So I mean, it kind of worked out for the best.
It actually puts it in something of a chronological order. What I actually felt was kind of weird is it is definitely a tonal shift, because whereas obviously I loved WandaVision as just that nerd. As that nerd, I loved WandaVision. But I can see how this really does have the potential to be a much more mainstream fare. Because we start off with our first hallway fight in a plane. And that to me is the best part. We get Batroc back. I love Batroc.
And what a fight! What an opening sequence, eh?
Oh,
it was amazing,
diving out of
mind-blowing.
Planes, diving in and out of helicopters.
It's like, I think someone said this should be watched like on the big screen in a cinema. This was so cinematic; it was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was. It was. Although that was an interesting aspect of it, I felt, which is that it got these big set pieces at the start, and then the rest of the show, it's real quiet and real introspective, and and I like that, but I also think, man, I hope we didn't lose anyone on this. That the fact that it does, that we basically have to apply for a small business loan. This isn't Teen Titans. It's not like Teen Titans Go. It's not like applying for a small business loan is the crux of an episode. But it is interesting, but it also gives you so much of what this world is.
And like we've talked before, Charlie, like you were saying, like people getting other people's origins, like how with Cloak and Dagger, because Ray just watched Cloak and Dagger, how they kind of got Monica Rambeau's origin, how she got her powers. Sam Wilson's family owning like that fishing boats down there. That's what Monica Rambeau's parents did in the comics, right?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they have basically Monica gets to be her own completely unrelated character now. Much like Captain Marvel is much more a completely unrelated character to what she is in the comics, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess that makes sense, you know. That is going to be its own little offshoot.
Yeah.
Here's a real interesting question for you about just before we get too much into this, getting back to the WandaVision. Do you think the friend of Captain Marvel, do you think the friend of her mother's was Captain Marvel, was Talos, was Nick Fury? And I'm still now actually wondering, have we ever actually seen Nick Fury?
Yeah.
I think it's either. It's either Fury or Talos. I think
that's what I thought. Yeah. Because it's a he.
I think that was kind of like the tension there. It's like Monica hasn't heard from Carol maybe since the first Captain Marvel movie. I don't know, but yeah, she hasn't heard.
And she's a bit salty towards her as well. Yeah, so I can't wait for that kind of interaction to happen when they do meet.
Yeah, but that is my biggest question with this, the coming secret invasion is what the reality is that actually Nick has been basically in Tahiti the whole time. Like the entire Avengers initiative, that's always been Talos. That's always been him manipulating things with Nick Fury on the space station in Tahiti the whole time.
Okay, this brings me to a big theory I have once I watch this first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Mm-hmm. So, are we supposed to assume Steve Rogers is dead? Because I don't believe he's dead.
No. That is the mission, and that's clearly meant to be the mystery. That nobody knows what happened to Steve Rogers.
I mean, we don't see a body. We don't even see a funeral. I'm like, he's
that's
not
true.
dead. No. He's either in hiding because they're protecting him because he's 103 years old, or is he like the new Nick Fury?
More than that now.
I think publicly though he's meant to be seen as. I mean,
they want people to think he's dead, but I bet you he's like running.
He's dead. Yeah.
Maybe he's like the new Fury running like a shield or something.
Mm.
He may be. I mean, although they do say that Christopher Evans is actually Feige got really he people say Feige says he's not coming back, but he was actually very cagey where he says
if he wanted to, this is how he could do it. Yeah.
Well, no, what he actually said was I don't know everything.
Oh,
and there's always things moving around, which is kind of an interesting way which it really argues the idea that that although he is in control of a lot of things, probably stuff comes to him for approval, but not necessarily is originated from him.
Yeah.
So, because obviously there's writers coming in, there's people pitching it, there's this and that and the other, and then there's all the lawyer stuff in the background, And, does Chris Evans want to come back? Does he want to be an old man Chris? Does he want to be a young man Chris? What are we going to get, That's the real question there. And I like the idea that he's on the moon. I like Steve Rogers on the moon. I like the idea that he's up there in the blue area with Uatu the Watcher.
Was that a reference to the Man on the Wall as well? You think?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. It's my first thought went to Umbrella Academy, actually. So,
yeah.
It's entirely possible. Yeah, it could be the idea of the Man on the Wall. It could be, that he's living up with the Inhumans. Who knows what legends that people are spinning on, down in the real world,
I wasn't. My thought was like, could it even be like a Justice League reference because they've had their headquarters on the moon before too.
Well, lots of people live on the moon. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's a very popular vacation destination in the Marvel universe.
Exactly. Oh, geez. Real estate rent is just through the roof.
Well, you got that blue area. The blue area, it's prime real estate. Got atmosphere, nice quiet neighbors. Now the Inhumans have moved out.
But I thought actually, just back to your point, Charlie, about the balance between action and I guess drama. I found it quite apparent, like the big staged fight at the beginning, although we did still have some nice action in between, like Lieutenant Torres fighting the Flag Smashers. That was pretty cool. And you get a little bit of Bucky's dream sequence of him killing. So we did get a little bit of action there, but I certainly agree with you. I felt that there was so much kind of character building in this first episode, and yet there might be a risk of people going, "Oh God, come on, what's happening? When's the next fight scene?"
Yeah.
But by the same token, you can't have them just fighting all the time because you're going to get a Van Helsing if you're going to.
Yeah.
You know,
Although
This isn't a Zack Snyder production. They can't be fighting 24/7.
exactly.
no, sometimes you actually have to have character development. You know,
And I think it was great. I mean, we get to see Sam's sister. We get to see Bucky in therapy.
Oh, I love how he has nephews, so they can call him Uncle Sam.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I mean, Bucky befriending, and I really gotta wonder about that. Like that he's befriending the father of a person he killed.
I didn't even get that. I didn't even get that at first. At first, I thought, oh, was this one of his friends from like World War II or something? But then it didn't hit me for some reason until he went back to like give the guy the money for his
and he saw the
lunch and
shrine.
stuff. Yeah, and I was like,
yeah.
It was his kid.
Actually, no. Now I'm wondering. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it than that, but that would be a lot of coincidences if it was one of the Howlers, because there was the one Asian Howler.
Yeah.
You know,
but no, I didn't. At first, I was just like, "Why is he
No.
friends with this old guy? Maybe it's one of his buddies from World War II."
Yeah. I think it is. I think it is just through association because he did kill his son, which is I don't know. What do you think of that? That's a little. It's weird. You know, I know he's trying to atone for himself, but it's very strange to befriend.
Unless he says he's just like watching over him because he's like, you know, I took his son. The least I can do is make sure this guy has like a somewhat peaceful rest of his life. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is just that. It's very odd. It's very weird, and I don't think his psychiatrist would approve. We do not get the psychiatrist's name, so I don't know if that's on IMDb.
I think it was in the credits. It wasn't Carla Soffin, Charlie. I know you were hoping. Yes, no. I think it was like Dr. It was like Rayner or something. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
I'll double check. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty.
I'm gonna have to start getting my theorizing going on that. Oh, it's actually the Ringmaster of Crime. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, that therapy session was interesting too because we saw, you know, he's trying to atone like that corrupt government official he brought in and stuff. And, because that's what I think that's what the old man what's going on with the old man. He wants to try to atone, but he's like, well, how do I make this right? I killed his son. I can't make that right.
Yeah.
And they make the point that, you know, there's no word for a parent who loses a child, you know? There's just not a word for that.
That was a good bit of writing, I thought, as well. It really hit home. Yeah,
well, I've heard that line used before too. So it's I mean it's in the zeitgeist, that idea that you know, it is a kind of tragedy that we don't even have a word for that kind of a tragedy when you lose your child. It's pretty messed up.
I mean, that part was sad, but that awkward first date was kind of funny. How old are you? 103.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't lie, does he?
No.
You know, he's transparent. He's not, you know.
Why
lie?
Why do you wear
it's public record.
No, it's all true.
But that's why.
Well, why wear the gloves? Circulation problem. Well, yeah. You have an arm. That might be a problem.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was wondering he's not so successful dating online because he's got age 104, so no one's gonna pick him up there. Yeah.
Well, you know, you don't know what you know, and he may. I mean, I don't know if he's always that honest about his age because obviously he didn't. Because he could have actually even just said, "Oh, I have a prosthetic arm," which you know is a perfectly legitimate reason why you're wearing gloves all the time.
Yeah, but you get that high tech arm, man. There's like.
Yeah, but what's interesting is he does give that, but then that suggests, like, does his friend know that? And is the fact that he was the Winter Soldier kind of public knowledge, kind of in the same way Cap is public knowledge, you know? Because they do say that, otherwise you okay, hon? Okay, careful. Yeah, you know, because we do see that Bucky Barnes is in the Smithsonian. So, they did say that, you know, it's interesting that his pardon was conditional with it going to therapy, which I didn't know that pardons could be like that, but I guess they can. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
At least in the Marvel universe, they can be. And
it's Dr. Rayner. It's saying only one episode, so this might be it. This might be her only appearance.
Oh,
no, she's in more episodes because we've already seen footage of both of them in the therapy session.
But that's not her though. That was someone else. I do remember. It was a younger lady. Yeah.
Maybe that's Carla.
There you go.
That's Carla.
The theory's still alive.
By the way, I just want to say this. My favorite thing about the scene with his doctor is that the wallpaper, that was the wallpaper that was on the kids' room in Time Bandits.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that birch bark forest. It was actually a fairly common wallpaper in like the 80s. Like you people would have that in their rooms because it's like, oh look, it's like a forest in my living room. But so that was just one thing that I found really great about that. But beyond that, I liked the fact that the doctor wasn't having any of his BS, which as much as Bucky pushes back on it, that is actually how a good psychiatrist is. They push back. They call you on your BS. They don't let you get away with just deflection.
Hello, Russell from the Tomes of Evil.
Hey, Russell, how you going?
Hoi.
But yeah, Bucky got underneath her skin as well. I like that interaction. She wasn't just your typical therapist. Like, she was really getting into it as well. And he was going, are you, I can't remember what he was saying. Are you projecting at me or something? And she had to kind of reel it back.
Yeah, he was, well, no, he was projecting at her.
And
he was, yes, right.
How many therapists
like I said,
how many therapists are like, give me your phone. Let me see your phone.
Yeah.
I think she was 100% professional in this.
Oh, yeah.
I think this for an obstinate client like this, especially one who, is a special case, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
You have to be aggressive because he is going to just try to say, oh, I'm too cool for school, and you can't have that. You're not going to actually accomplish anything.
Yeah.
And of course, it has the rules for making amends, and of course he breaks them all.
I love that third rule. I thought that little bit of humor at the end, where he has to put on that fake smile and kind of like what did he kind of like apologizes to them or something at the car. Like that third rule, he's meant to state something, and he does it, and then he just does this really cheesy smile. But I thought the humor was good also in it, not too overplayed in this show. I mean, you could easily lean on Anthony Mackie to make a couple of quips here and there, but he was pretty funny when he needed to be.
The scene in the bank. I know you from somewhere, don't I?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. He goes, oh, there you go. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything.
But what I loved about that was it really, and again, it gets into that, like, small business loans are fun. And it goes into the reality of this world that, this family has been with this bank for a very long time, but still they can't really help him out because, as it turns out, superheroing, even though he has these government contracts as proof of income, it's not a stable business. It's not a stable, because who's to say he's not going to blip out again? Yeah. And then what do we do after that? Because that was the thing. It's like, well, what is the income stream for being a superhero? Does Stark pay you? Which is, a great question that a lot of people would have. And it's actually a perfectly reasonable question for a banker to ask.
Absolutely. Yeah. They want some reassurance.
They want to make the banker the bad guy, I'm sure. But, in truth, he is being honest about where they're at. He says, I know we qualify for the small business loan. It's like, well, yeah, you would have. But, 4 billion people just showed up with 5 years without credit history. And they all need money,
Yeah.
I'm just surprised the government wasn't paying the Avengers any money, especially once they wanted them to sign those Sokovia Accords. I'm like, I'm not on your payroll.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, I think they were giving him room and board. Really.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe spending cash.
I thought that was Stark's facility. So.
Well, it seemed like it was government. I mean, it might have been a Stark facility, but then again, I don't know if, Stark is a real cheapskate now, so.
Well, he's dead now, but I mean, he was storing his stuff there in Ant-Man.
Yeah. I'm just saying, those, you don't build a multi-billion-dollar play suit for you and pay a living wage to your Avengers. It's just.
I'm not saying he was paying
to work,
wage.
Avengers.
I just thought maybe he built the building.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, let's get to this. Russell's asking, is it safe to say is Zemo controlling the Flag Smashers?
I don't think so.
At first I was like maybe, but now I'm thinking no. I'm thinking whoever's behind, our new Captain America, John Walker, I think has created this, and it's like, oh hey, well, we have this new menace. They want to get rid of all nations and all borders. We need
big spoilers here, though. But have you guys read the that article that you sent through, Phil?
Yes.
Did you read that?
Yes.
Oh yeah. I thought it pretty much laid it out who's kind of behind it there.
I actually didn't get the chance to read it yet.
I mean, they are doing I think the article even said that they're doing like a female version of the Flag Smasher. Well, the character who is Flag Smasher in the comics, but they're like, we always like throw you a curveball and stuff. So
I thought she was pretty much the leader of the Flag Smashers in this iteration, but I know I could be wrong. I thought Zemo is more of a rogue villain, pretty much like I don't think he has any affiliation.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could be wrong.
We're gonna have to see because I mean, like Russell says, are we getting Thunderbolts eventually? I mean, hopefully, but
yeah, that'll be good.
Well, I actually think that that's going to be the question when we get there, and that is where we get our WandaVision style questioning. I do think they are going to be bringing in the Power Broker into this.
They're going to have some form of strength on.
Oh, the Power Broker. That's cool.
John Walker, that one Flag Smasher, took out what's his fate,
Dr. Malice. What's his name? Would he be?
Well, they had Malice in
Jessica Jones,
and
okay. Unless they bring him back.
To be fair,
I don't think he's dead, is he?
Well, is he dead? That's the thing. That's always those things when you have that guy. Basically, a building blew up, but he was also a guy who, was experimenting with, regeneration technologies and things like that.
And again, did we ever see a body?
Exactly.
First rule comics, kids, if you have not seen a body, they're not dead. Even if you do see a body, it might
even if they're dead, even if they're dead and buried, they're not dead.
Yeah, I mean,
ask the X-Men.
Just ask Zack Snyder.
Next week.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not the Power Broker or Malice, we still haven't gotten an Arnon Zola with the big TV in his chest. Let's get some Arnon.
Yeah, I mean that could be a very real thing. We could get our MODOK. There's lots of things.
Yeah.
Although I think MODOK is currently tied up to be a cartoon character.
Yeah.
With Pat Oswalt, because that's still moving forward with their little they're doing that Robot Chicken style animation with him.
You know what Zola's really famous for? They might flip a couple scripts on us. What if John Walker is some kind of clone? What if that's the Red Skull in there?
Ooh.
Zola's the one who gave him that clone Cap body back in the day. I mean.
Yeah, well, that's a possibility. Kurt Russell Wyatt Russell kind of has a little bit of a punchable face, which is why he normally has that big red beard. That's one thing I noticed about that. It's like, because I can see Kurt Russell's face in there.
I can see it as well, yeah.
But it's like,
Well, I think they wanted someone like, too, where you look at him even with that mask on, and you're like, oh, that's not Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
What I was thinking about, because I'm actually thinking and that was the first thing I saw when I saw that big red beard, is like, oh wow, that looks like D-Man. And
cool. That would be cool.
But I get the feeling that and for what it's worth, that we do know from Jessica Jones, which is I do think this is where we're going to start to see the tie-ins to established Netflix properties. Which is why I think Malice might be a part of this, maybe even just notes about Malice's notes. Because we do know from the end of Luke Cage that one of the scientists was still alive. And that was the one experimenting on Diamondback. Was it Diamondback?
One of them.
Luke Cage's brother.
Oh, Bush.
No. Luke Cage's
brother.
No,
sorry, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah. The brother. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's possible that because that's the idea, is that, there is this superhuman enhancement technology that has been floating around for years and probably has gotten to a point where, we can make you super strong, We can make you adequately faster, adequately stronger to that point of superhumanity. With certain limitations. It's not the super soldier serum. You're not going to be that peak human quality, but you are going to be very strong and very fast. And it's entirely possible that whoever is doing that is sort of in kind of a reverse Vought from the boys, actually intentionally creating supervillains so they can sell superheroes.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some rogue faction of the U.S. government pouring money into this, because it'd be like, you know what, after the whole blip, and Stark's dead, supposedly Steve Rogers is dead. He's like,
Oh no! I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't even have to be. That's the great thing about America. It doesn't have to be a rogue part of the government. It can just be a crazy capitalist.
Oh, true.
It can just be, new. It can be Alchemix technology.
Hey, like we said, Justin Hammer's still alive out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be Osborn.
Oh, you really think they bring in Osborn before he shows up in a Spider-Man, though?
Well, you never know what they might do. That's all I'm saying.
Don't go all WandaVision on me, Charlie. Come on, don't be getting too big on me.
Yeah, I'll play it safe. I reckon, if anything, there'll be introductions of like minor-ish characters like, Malice and the Power Broker. I don't think we'll get any big wigs. I think mainly we'll concentrate on Zemo and the Flag Smashers, and whoever may be affiliated with them. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to be a party pooper in that sense, but I just think they won't reach out. We won't be getting big names.
Well, I was about to say, I mean, Charlie and I have talked about it before. It's like, Zemo starts up a Thunderbolts, so we're going to use characters that are already in the universe. I mean, Taskmaster is going to be in Black Widow. Are we going to get Are we going to get like Patsy Walker from Jessica Jones or Diamondback from Luke Cage? But it's again, I mean, we thought we were going to get the X-Men tie-in with Quicksilver and WandaVision, and it just turned out to be a big boner.
Well, although there was an interesting analysis of that I saw recently, which was the idea that, and again, the idea that this was not supposed to be the first time you see it. No. The reason that they got this character is because, as I said, they couldn't bring in Aaron Johnson for that wouldn't make sense for Aaron Johnson to show up, but they needed a character that we would recognize to be Quicksilver immediately. But also, could be someone else in this universe. Yeah. My personal thinking is that he's going to change his name to Simon Williams the next time we see him, because he's going to get a better agent. Because after the whole thing, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hush money spread around. So he's going to get himself in a position. He's going to get a better agent. The better agent's going to say, Boner's not a good name. You need a name that really pops, like Simon Williams. That's the name of a that's the name of a star.
I would love to see Wonder Man in the MCU. He's an awesome character.
Yeah.
There's so much he can do.
And, for what it's worth, I think Evan Peters would make a great Wonder Man. And he even has an association with Wanda already.
I was going to say, I thought they'd go with somebody bigger, but I mean, look at that MCU factory, man. They throw people in the gym for a couple months and they come out like,
yep.
Like what's his face from the Eternals, man? He had a couple extra months, man. He got ripped.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, because I think that's actually what Disney has realized. She said, we actually can make people stronger. I mean, not for nothing. We can get them in shape. We just want a good actor. We want someone that can handle the lines. So yeah, we'll tell you how to look like that and do that for the movies.
They chew up some Human Torch and poop out some Captain America.
Exactly. But that's the idea. It's very easy to do. The technology has been with us for a very long time. How to go from being a super big fat guy to being a totally ripped dude by just eating less and exercising more.
Oh, I need that.
And if you don't have a day job, then that's what you do.
Oh yeah, you can do. Yeah, exactly.
I was going to say,
exactly,
I need to go back and find that drop of Charlie Esser saying, Chris Pratt's like 2 cheeseburgers away from from losing that Star-Lord job.
Well, because they said, I guess you don't have to always be ripped. You're Star-Lord. We can work with you on that. And so.
Just kick the spacesuit on and yeah.
Keep the jacket
just
on, you're fine.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to US Agent John Walker,
Yes.
I thought, what did you guys think of the introduction? I thought I was actually pleasantly surprised how he was just thrown. I didn't expect him in the first episode. I thought we were going to go through maybe a semi-origin for him. I was quite happy that they've already picked him. We bypassed all that kind of who to get to replace Captain America, and he's already kind of announced. It seemed really quick for me.
Yeah. Well, again,
Well,
I think this one was
really telling that it's the senator who got the shield back.
Well, I think that was the whole.
Falcon.
I think that was the whole plan. Instead of a big legal fight or whatever, they were just like, "Oh, hey, Sam, can you loan that to give that to the Smithsonian?" And then the Smithsonian just signs it over or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean,
But it's good.
I think it might be a little quick because I think this one's only 6 episodes. I think.
Yeah, longer episodes, but yeah.
Yeah, but they got to get to the point. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good.
But,
I think it's great. So I think we can just go straight to it. I don't know how non-comic fans who watch it would take it. They'll probably have a few more questions, or they'll probably just say, oh, okay, this guy's just a replacement. I guess they wouldn't know US Agent at all. But yeah, it makes for entertaining viewing, I guess.
Yeah, although I will say this is things that, because I was watching those end credit scenes, not the end, just the actual end credits, and it's interesting because they show a bunch of the posters that they have printed up that say John Walker, your new Captain America.
I did see that. Yeah.
So it's a public identity, and they already had posters printed up. The most interesting thing I saw is that at one point, it's actually when you get the what's his name, Jean-Paul St. George's credit. Next to him is a sword in a circle. So, but it's not like the sword logo, but it looks like what the sword logo might have looked like in like the 1950s or something. So it makes me wonder, or like the 1970s sword logo, or the 1980s sword. It makes me wonder: are we going to be looking at something that's a little? That there's going to be some back looking in this too. So, and there was some thing because at first I thought, wait, maybe that's just the French Foreign Legion's logo, but it's not because it said like Valorium next to it.
Yes.
So I was thinking, oh, maybe that's some kind of because that's what Batroc was in. Was he was in the French Foreign Legion? So I thought that might have been a time, but it wasn't. So I think it's just a sword logo. Yeah, and it's very interesting.
Can I ask then what is do they spell it out? I can't remember what the LAF is. I just immediately thought of the Mutant Liberation Front, MLF, but LAF, which is who Batroc is affiliated with. Is that something that you guys are?
No, I actually looked it up as well. I could not find out what that was. No. I think it's mostly just because it's it means laugh. I know it's leapers against funny acronyms. I don't know.
I just wonder if it's going to be a big surprise once they reveal what it is. We're going to be like, oh my god.
All right, okay. So you think that, I hope we do see Batroc again because he's awesome. I would have loved to see more of his leg, fighting technique against Falcon, but it was close quarters in the helicopter. Admittedly, hard to do, but hopefully he comes back later on.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. They just had a 3-issue Thunderbolt series during King in Black. Batroc was in there. Taskmaster was in there.
Hey. It's starting to look like a reality.
I wonder if they're...
Well, they have been really building up Batroc over the last couple of years,
Oh, yeah.
Because
in the comics,
in the comics, Batroc is a lovable character. He was created as a gag character, but like so many gag characters, he won our hearts, And then they gave him some very humanizing arcs, and of course, his run on Gwenpool really completely changed who that character was, he became this kind of noble paladin kind of character. He'll gladly kill for you he'll gladly kill you for $1.50, but he also still has his own codes. So
I was familiar with. Yeah, I mean, I was familiar with him in the Black Cat, that recent run, and that was really cool about him and Felicia. Just how should we say, buddy? Yeah. So that was cool. But I didn't realize that they've been working on that character, Batroc, in the comics.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
no, he's been having some great stories, and they kind of have him be this guy. He's kind of like this guy who and they do the same thing with Taskmaster now, where it's like they know how ridiculous this all is. And they're just 9 to 5 clock punching mercenaries, you know. It's like they're not out to conquer the world. They're in fact, my favorite line of this was he got hired by these guys because says, we hired you to stop Captain America. It says, no, you didn't hire me to stop Captain America. You hired me to slow down Captain America. There is nobody that stops Captain America. Yeah. But I can buy you, 10, 20 minutes to make your getaway.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because if there was a man that could stop Captain America, they would have stopped him, and it would have been me. And it's not. So he's actually a really great character now, and also has the stash.
Well, I want to see the actor. What's it as St. George's? I'd love to see him use the moustache. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he may not be right there yet, but you know what? They got Wanda into the spandex, so you never know.
Yeah,
and you never know what they're gonna do.
They need to work on his banter too.
Oh yeah. But he hasn't aged a bit, that guy, as well. I mean, it looked like I was watching Winter Soldier all over again. It was funny, but yeah, no, good stuff.
Well, that's the thing. If you're in really good shape, your body doesn't age as well, or doesn't age as poorly as other people's. That's the thing. Because your body, it flushes itself out.
And I'm sure now Disney has like the best makeup people and stuff in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely. Yeah.
I was shocked in the behind the scenes to realize that Paul Bettany isn't in prosthetics. They just paint him, and then that's all CGI. The whole thing is CGI.
Oh yeah, did you see that thing? Yeah,
I didn't know.
Like they pop his ears out and stuff. And
Oh, what? Really?
In some of those, before they add the effects, like his ears are like pushed out and stuff.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But I actually always thought that it was. I assumed
like it was
that
latex
he just had. Latex.
Yeah.
Like you do.
For sure.
Because it looks like a real practical effect. That is how good that CGI is.
Yeah.
Can
we also maybe? Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. No, the quality has been really good. So Falcon, Winter Soldier. You've seen the opening sequence and WandaVision. There's no doubt that they throw a lot of coin into the production. So that's really cool. It's good for the upcoming shows as well.
Oh yeah, I was thinking the same thing you said. I think with that beginning scene, Ray, I was just like, oh man, I'm like, this would look great on like a big screen, or I'm like, I need to go right now and get a better TV, bigger TV. This would be awesome.
Looks so good. And we're we've got some more of those action scenes to come, so that's great. We haven't even seen Sharon Carter yet as well, which is awesome. So there's plenty. Apparently they said, I think Mackie or Stan said that there are plenty of guest appearances in this show.
I mean, we got Rhodey this episode.
Rhodey, Batroc already, so 2 of them. So yeah, Rhodey was good. Good to see him there.
It would not shock me if they don't bring in some of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
At least, or maybe even more practically, bring back Adrian Palicki as Mockingbird. Because she is out there. She is out there in. She has been cut loose, so she may be in this kind of crazy underworld. So getting Adrian Palicki, is it Padalecki or Palicki? I don't know, but anyway,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
But Mockingbird, getting her in there, Bobby Morse, that would be amazing, and it would make so much sense. And they can even do it without even acknowledging that much about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They could say, well, maybe it's canon, but maybe it's not, because that's what they want. They want it to be maybe canon, maybe not, so that you always have to guess.
Yeah, you can always just say Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or former Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Just Bobby Morse.
Yeah. And also as well, Phil, I think you mentioned Zola. I mean, there's potential. I'm just thinking of all the Captain America kind of ensemble in the movies. Potential that he could make an appearance as well. He's not shirked away from TV. He's started out in TV, that actor. So,
yeah. Toby something. But yeah, no, I would love to see him in this. It would be great. And it would be great to see him also, again, as that digital being, because the thing about that is like super easy for him to do, because he just has to come in, record the voiceover, can literally do it from home.
Super easy. Yeah.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience. And that is, that is perfect when you have somebody that you want to bring in. Say, it's going to be real easy. You just have to do the voice and we'll do everything else. And they get to be a part of the show and everyone likes it. And then they get to go to the premiere, and the premieres are always fun. When we have premieres again.
That's true, yeah. Kobe Smulders, Maria Hill, love to see her back.
Oh, that should be great. I mean,
I don't know
where is she though? Because remember,
where did she end up?
A Skrull in Spider-Man, but we didn't see her with Nick, so she could be anywhere.
Yep. Yeah, where's the real Maria?
Was there ever a real Maria Hill? Was she always a Skrull?
Wow.
That's the other question. See, there's so many questions.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that we may get out of this, and I do think that, like this one, I do get the idea that they're building towards something. It might be the Secret Invasion, or it might be they're building towards several different things, and they're going to be building towards this idea that, hey, you know what? Do you know why we don't call the Avengers every time? Because they're busy. Because everyone's busy. Because there are a lot of threats in the universe.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, is there even an Avengers at this point? I mean, Tony Stark's dead. Supposedly, Steve Rogers is dead. Thor's off in space.
Widow's,
Black Widow's
gone.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's running around somewhere, which we'll see soon, which is cool. Yep. But no, the Avengers are pretty much done and dusted. So.
Well, no, I mean Hulk's still out there.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't think they're banded. Yeah, but they're not as a team. Well,
Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Maybe not as a team, but, they're on speed dial. That's the thing, like Bucky has 10 people in his phone. I'm sure
that's all Avengers.
Falcon has more. Yeah. I do wonder who the 10 people are in Bucky's phone.
Well,
we know Sam is one, and he's dodging Sam, so.
Yeah. Probably the old guy, maybe.
Yeah, the old
guy.
Two. Then it's a stretch.
Maybe Sharon Carter.
I was thinking, do you think that this might kind of... Charlie, you're talking about Secret Invasion, but how about... is it Armor Wars or War Machine?
Armor Wars is
Armor Wars.
Rhodey, yeah. I mean,
because we're talking about... Yeah, I mean, talking about like the government taking over the identity of Captain America... Armor Wars, talking about conglomerates taking over technology. Could this be part of a snowball of them kind of plundering the Avengers?
Yeah, them taking that shield, and then maybe they try to steal Stark's technology, and Rhodey's trying to get it back. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, and I'm sure that because I think Armor Wars comes after the Ironheart series, so I get the feeling that we're going to get this idea of the. Essentially, this is the idea that when Tony Stark was the only genius in town, he could lock, just like Howard Stark could lock his bad babies away. And what is happening is that now that Tony Stark isn't the only game in town, all of this technology is getting out there. It's getting passed around. And I do think that maybe... Hi, Lilith.
Oh, look!
You could be here.
I was going to say, look who woke up. Look who woke up to get another beer to pass out. Hey, Lilith! Look at this.
Yes. This could be you and all this loveliness. But yeah, but the idea that there is going to be this, loose technology is going to be one of the things that's going to be coming up there. And for what it's worth, that was the plot of Far From Home. And... Well, not Far From Home. Well, actually, yes, it was the plot from Far From Home as well. There is technology that is in the wrong hands. And
oh my God, I saw so many posts on social media today. They'd be like, "Oh my God, Tony Stark could build Peter Parker, give him $1 billion glasses, but he couldn't pay the Avengers a living wage."
No, he could not. He could not.
Well, he didn't want to pay them a living wage.
Yeah, and to be fair, he didn't build Peter Parker $1 billion glasses.
He built himself.
He left him his pair of $1 billion glasses.
Yeah. Actually, also as well, as well, guys, what are your thoughts of Sam tinkering with Stark Tech? He was there at the cafe.
Oh yeah,
they're making him much smarter than he usually is depicted. That is based off of the last Avengers cartoon, where basically in that one, Falcon was a scientist who created his own wings.
Right.
And I wonder if it's just the point now that it's like he doesn't have anyone else to work on it. He has to do it himself. Because didn't he say something? Was it the Air Force? Whatever military he's working with.
Every time the tech guys work on it.
Yeah, it comes back.
But how do you just pick up knowing what to do with Stark Tech? I'd imagine it's pretty complicated.
Because it seems to run on some form of electricity.
I mean, unless he has the plan, like the blueprints for it, and maybe I don't know. Maybe when he got it from Stark, maybe they ran through it. He's like, okay, here's he explained the whole thing to him. Maybe.
And can I also just say, I love.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Stark explained it to him because he is that smart.
Yeah, maybe. He kind of gave him a rundown.
He's like, here, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, but how kick-ass was Red Wing? Awesome. I loved how it had much of a role in this. It was just as dangerous. Like he did the fighting for him. It was so good.
And actually, I think that because I do think there is going to be an AI in Red Wing. That there is a Red Wing AI that
just a bird voice.
Yeah, because Falcon is talking to him. Because in the clip we did see, he says that Red Wing is worried it's one of the big three. Every time we Avengers fight, it's either aliens, androids, or wizards. Yeah. We don't fight wizards. Like, what are you talking about? Doctor Strange. So he's a sorcerer, which is like such a parsing, which feeds back into that, thing that, if you will remember in Far From Home, when the one science teacher is talking about witches and the problems we have with witches in this world. And then, of course, in Wanda, we find out, yes, guess what? It was witches all along.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You want to inject some humor into this? You know whose voice should be in that Red Wing AI?
Pee Wee Herman?
No. Oh, well, that'd be funny. But no, Scott Lang. Just for their history. All right, Birdman, you got it.
No. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm sure you can program it with whatever voice you want.
Any voice, yeah.
But it's just like a prank. It's just as a prank. Scott Lang programs his own voice into there.
Yeah.
It's going to sound like Ray. It's because he does have very dulcet tones. I don't know if you guys hear that. I could just listen to Ray talk all day.
Because Ray likes it hard. Because Ray likes it hard.
Anyway,
Lilith got you back, Ray.
Because Ray likes it hard.
So I think we're going to get more with the Red Wing AI, and I do think there's actually going to be kind of this link. So I don't think we're ever actually going to hear Red Wing, but I think Red Wing is communicating with Falcon in some way. Maybe with a direct neural link.
Yeah, I love that idea because it just ties with the comics, and it's a language that we don't know, but Sam speaks to the birds. It's cool.
Which also might be how he knows how to fix things, because maybe the AI is guiding him, and maybe that's even going to be a thing in the same way that in the comics, Falcon can speak with birds. Can speak with birds that maybe he's actually now going to be able to communicate with AI and various, he's going to have this kind of link to various, sentient robots, sentient weapons, if you will.
Well, yeah, I wonder if it's regenerating too, because when his thruster got shot, it rerouted around the damage and stuff.
That was very.
Oh yeah, well we saw that.
He wasn't
Stark
touching.
Had those nanotechs. He had little microbots.
Yeah.
He was all about it. So
that's the thing in the cafe or whatever. He might have just had to dig the bullet out of there, and it might have just repaired itself even.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, the whole thing, and it does. It opens up a lot, and this is the point, because here we are talking about any number of insane possibilities. Maybe Falcon can now talk to robots, and he's going to be pulling AI. That's going to be his new thing, and I don't think that's going to happen necessarily, but it would be cool if it did. And that is what they've built. They've built a place for this kind of conversation.
Yep.
And we got to wait a week to get the next answer.
Yeah, look, I love this sort of speculation. I think it's really good. I think this time for Falcon and Winter Soldier, I'm just going to try not to expect to see anything, like as in WandaVision. But for it to throw up stuff like exactly what we've been talking about has just been awesome, because there's just so many little tidbits as well. I mean, we haven't even touched upon Lieutenant Joaquin Torres. Apparently, in that article, he is actually a Marvel Comics character. Yep. He becomes Falcon, a hybrid. Yeah, which I never knew.
Yeah, he became the new Falcon when Sam was Captain America. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Now that would be interesting. Now that's an interesting thing. If we do get the Power Broker, and if we do get Malice back, because Malice was working in the TV show as well with bringing in animal hybridizations. With various things with what was it? Abalone shells is how we got got Luke Cage his super thick skin, and like cuttlefish DNA is what gave the healing factor to Jessica Jones, and just all these kinds of interesting takes on things that could be interesting when you think about it. And it would really be interesting if we do see a genetic manipulation on Joaquin, and he becomes a literal Falcon person. He's a bird person.
Herbert Winham, high evolutionary. Oh. Get him in there.
Get it. And you know what? If nothing else, he was a contemporary of who, Philip?
The Jackal?
Yeah, Miles Warren.
Arnim Zola.
Oh, Zola. Ooh. Yeah.
They hated each other back in the because he was the guy who described Zola as a dwarf.
Oh.
He's over there. He's with that dwarf Zola.
Everybody hates the High Evolutionary.
Well, of course, and as I say, I do say that's Mount Wundagore in the background at the end of WandaVision, because she flies east. Yep. The design of the cabin is clearly kind of a rustic Central European look. So that being this little cottage at the foot of Mount Wundagore makes a lot of sense.
That's the next big movie, like Endgame, Evolutionary War.
Oh yeah. Well, and you know what? And again, the idea of someone manipulating genetics, like the High Evolutionary, or just seeding these ideas through time and space for whatever reason, perhaps something that Kang is doing to make sure time starts to move to be where he needs it to be when he needs it to be there.
Oh, see, that's the other thing. I mean, WandaVision really brought the magic. Doctor Strange was really the only place for magic before WandaVision. But now, we're getting the Loki series in June. Yeah, and then, like you said, Kang and Ant-Man and Wasp, Quantumania. So it's like, time travel.
And what's important about all those things, it is the bonding of the science and the magic. It is that idea that, you know what? Magic is energy. Loki, yeah. Energy has laws. We just have to learn the laws, and then we can master magic. Yeah. Although I'm still mad that, I really want a scene in Quantumania where Michael Douglas says to him, So where's the quantum particles that you brought back? He says, what? You remember we sent you there? You collected the quantum particles. You were supposed to bring them back? Where are they? It's like, did you tell them that you had quantum particles? Because that might have been helpful too to them. Or he was like, it's a good thing you didn't tell that no good Stark about quantum particles.
Oh, yeah.
This is too dangerous for them. I want them to bring up the fact that he went there to get quantum energies to bring back, and then they never mention it when he comes back.
All right. I know where Steve Rogers is. The Time Variance Authority has him.
Ooh. With Owen Wilson.
Possible.
I mean, hey, he put those stones back. That's a good thing. But you were gonna go back and be with Peggy and live your life while you were already frozen in ice. Nope.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I will guarantee you, the first thing he did was he went back to give the time stone back. Then he helped the Ancient One, and then he talked with her. So, what can and can't I do?
But she doesn't speak for the Time Variance Authority.
Yeah. And my actual theory is that isn't Steve Rogers that we see at the end of that. I actually think that's the Steve Rogers that was trapped in ice, and like I've said before, he actually goes and gets himself. I get the feeling he split off a timeline where he could be happy, then he went off and freed Bucky and had adventures.
That's what I wanted. I mean, I get that they wanted to give Steve Rogers a happy ending, but if he wasn't going to come back to the present, I thought they should have quantum leaped him around through time and have him having adventures through time or something.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's the idea, is that there's a lot of things he could have done, and maybe he did. That's the thing. If they ever do bring him back, that may be how they bring him back. It's like Captain America, Time Warrior.
I mean, you can at least do a what if episode on it. Come on.
Oh yeah. Well, they are coming, and everybody's back for those. We get,
it's
Chadwick Boseman's last performance.
Yeah.
Is the Star-Lord.
Oh yeah, you can get them all back. I mean, you can literally phone that in. It's like,
yeah.
We need your voice,
which is a great way to get people.
Yeah, exactly.
You could get what's her name, the Goop lady back.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
She has said she's she's happy to come back as long as it's not a big inconvenience. Yeah.
I'd like to see Rescue back. It'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, and anything's possible. That's the good news.
Oh,
so.
I want the big what if. It's like, what if Wanda had stopped Thanos in Endgame?
Yeah, and if you think, the problem was that Thanos already had most of the Infinity Stones, so she might not have quite been there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Here's an interesting question.
But she saves him. But she saves him. I mean, things definitely go different. If nothing else, Tony Stark lives.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What would have been interesting is if rather than... Actually, what would have been really smart is rather than blowing up the Mind Stone, she blew up one of the other stones.
Oh, I mean, unless it was harder to do because Thanos had the other ones in his possession,
Yeah.
Right.
Well, actually, what I think is... Here's actually the biggest question for me was, did Vision love Wanda or did the Mind Stone love Wanda? Because the Mind Stone clearly has some kind of autonomy and sentience and was a part of Vision. And that might be why Vision leaves right then, because he understands he is Vision. He has his memories. He knows he loved Wanda, but he no longer necessarily feels that at this point.
I think it's like in the comics.
Because he no longer has the Mind Stone.
Yeah, I think he downloaded his memories in the White Vision, and it's like in the comics, it's like he has all his memories back, but he doesn't have the emotional attachments to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I think.
But the idea even beyond that is I think that, because that's what I say, I think that the real interesting thing is going to be if they do reunite in Multiverse of Madness, it's going to be this thing where she's like, I can give you back the Mind Stone, and he's going to say, I do not want it.
It's going to be something. It's like they, instead of Wonder Man's memories, they use the Mind Stone. That's what, I don't know if the Mind Stone.
No, I just think that his AI will have evolved to a point where he can have his own emotions by then.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be from the Mind Stone.
I mean, in the comics,
and it's going to cause a rift between them, but also maybe allows them to be on footing as equals going forward.
Yeah, his emotions will come back, and it will just take a while.
Yeah. No, I'd be happy if they leave the Mind Stone out of it now, and the same with just because I don't know, there was always just a little bit of me like, how Vision had the Mind Stone as his gem. I was kind of happy that he's got his own thing now. Similar with the Eye of Agamotto, it's kind of still I wish that wasn't tied in with the Time Stone, but I understand why. But
well, maybe we're going to get more of that in Multiverse of Madness, because maybe we'll get... No, we actually have the real Eye of Agamotto. Ha-ha!
Yeah.
Not just the Time Stone, but they're actually... Actually, the Time Stone was just something that this was the only thing that could hold the Time Stone, but actually the Eye of Agamotto has its own powers, too. Now that we're not worrying about the Time Stone, we realize, oh, wow, this amulet actually has a lot of juice in it, too. Oh, my gosh, that's why they call it the Eye of Agamotto, because Agamotto is this entity that I'm always evoking. Maybe I should have put two and two together. Maybe I should have thought about this more. I don't know. Anyway, but that's all for the Multiverse of Madness and the Quantumania. A lot of mental health. mental health issues coming up here.
Well,
we've got grief, we've got dealing with one's past and anger and fear and all that stuff now, and then Quantumania really sounds like they're going to also maybe face the Psycho Man, who is a quantum realm being. In fact, I get the feeling that they are going to face like we're all talking about Kang. I don't know if that's even confirmed. Is Kang confirmed, or is because maybe he's actually playing the Psycho Man?
I'm not sure. Yeah, good point. I think everyone just assumed he's
I don't know why you'd assume he's Kang.
Just because of time and
Well, we just did time. Now we're going, who is in the quantum realm, and actually, when you think about people in the quantum realm, not the negative zone, the quantum realm, Psycho Man is your villain du jour, and would go with that idea of Quantumania, that idea of, in this quantum realm, madness is all around you, like in the multiverse of madness, and, the one who can control those emotions. That's the power.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe we're going to get...
Yeah, doing some research there, Phil.
I'm looking. Where is this? I'm seeing articles. There's articles like here, blackgirlnerds.com is saying Jonathan Majors will play the villain Kang. So I guess it's confirmed, but remember too, we thought we were told Ben Kingsley was the Mandarin too.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think I've heard him confirm it yet. Because I think every time someone mentions it to him, he says, "Oh yeah, I've heard that rumor too."
Well, I think they're all just afraid of Disney lawyers too, though.
Yeah, no. But the point is
Oscar Isaac hasn't said anything about Moon Knight.
But the thing is that if he is saying, "Oh, I've heard that rumor too," that doesn't mean that it's true.
No, it doesn't.
It's like Paul Bentley's, actor I've always wanted to work with,
But again, I think they're told to deny until the last minute because what's her face said she wasn't She-Hulk, and now it's like, is she?
No, and I understand that, but at the same time, so he may be the villain, again, why are we assuming it's Kang? Because, even if they just, have armor drawings, Kang's armor and Psycho Man's armor, I could see stylized versions of that where they're not too dissimilar. Mm-hmm. Especially if you do, the Rama Tut, and it's got the green on it.
Yeah, and like I said, and again, they said we were getting the Mandarin in Iron Man 3, so.
Yeah. And we got him.
Kind of.
We did. Kind of.
And there's something going on with the Mandarin, because that is the one Marvel short that they will not release on Disney+.
Well, yes, he's going to show up in Shang-Chi, isn't he?
He's in Shang-Chi. Tony Leung.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm saying that the Hail to the King short.
Yeah, that's the only one you can't find anywhere.
You can't find that,
right.
Unless you have the Blu-ray. It was originally on there.
Yeah, they have suppressed that because there's something in there. Gotta go over it with a fine-tooth comb. I'm telling you, man. The truth is out there. We need our whiteboard. Why are they hexes? Why is it sitcoms? Why is it jumping decades? Is it because that's what they did in the X-Men series? We don't know those exist in this universe.
Oh yeah, they have Tony Leung Chiu-Wai listed as the Mandarin. So for Shang-Chi. So
the real Mandarin. So
which they'll probably make him as his father. Yeah.
So. Although I will say I love Ben Kingsley, and I really want to get. He's just such a great character. I hope they keep him around. Maybe he's the court. I would love to see him be the court jester in the Mandarin's court. Hey, the Mandarin.
Wait, is this still the confirmed date? It's saying Shang-Chi comes out July 9th this year.
Yeah.
No, next year, I think.
It's saying 2021, so I don't know.
Oh, is it?
I think they've shot it. It's in production.
Yeah, it's shot. Yeah, it's already finished. It's in post, I think. So
there's no reason for them not to release it.
I think we're getting a few. Yeah, so Black Widow in May, Shang-Chi in July, and then isn't Eternals sometime this year?
Eternals in November or something?
Yeah, then Spider-Man's December.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all coming. Whether or not it gets into theaters, that's the big question.
4 movies because we got backed up last year, so...
Yeah, well, and to be fair, I mean, I really think it's just all U.S. theaters, you know. Although we're getting to that point where, you know, they're at half capacity, and, you know, $500 million is better than nothing, you know. And the fact of the matter is, depending on how, I think a lot of it is going, they're seeing how Mulan and Raya are doing on that, you know, Premiere Plus option.
Well, yeah, they said, they're waiting until the last second to announce what Black Widow's doing, because I guess, you know, we still got, over a month till it comes out.
Yeah, because I was actually really sorely tempted with Raya. I really wanted to do it, and I may still do it, just to watch it. It's just, I really feel for $30 I should have other people want to watch it with me, and I'm just the only one that wants to watch it. You know? I mean, Black Widow, I will watch. And Tristan will watch Black Widow with me. But, you know, if not everybody wants to watch, you know, a big budget Disney, you know, princess cartoon, you know, there's only so much you can do.
All right, Charlie, let's cut it there, because Ray's going to have to go soon, and plus we got another show to do, so.
Yes, we do. Okay.
Good activity. All right, so, Ray, thank you for joining us.
No worries. It's awesome to talk about Falcon.
Yeah, we've had to go out and party, so, Ray, you know a lot about Marvel Comics. Where can people hear you talk that on a weekly basis?
Yeah, certainly. You can catch me on the likes of the last Tuesday every month over at Capes and Lunatics, the Ultimate Spider-Man cast, with Scarlet Spider. So I'm alongside Phil and Matt Kona. A lot of fun doing a lot of Ben Reilly stuff, getting confused as hell through the whole Clone Saga thing. It's a lot of fun. Also, as well, speaking spiders, to know her is to fear her, the Spider-Woman podcast, and that's pretty cool. We're going to have Carla Pacheco and Perich again for the next episode. Yeah, which would be nice. It's issue 10. It's a roundup to the roundup for their second arc. So that'll be cool. Also, Last Sons of Krypton, the Superman podcast with Connor. A lot of fun there. Talking about my only DC kind of podcast, but I'm enjoying Superman. I think he's pretty cool. I've been watching the TV show as well, which has been a lot of fun. And of course, Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast.
Moon Knight podcast.
Just the best way to catch me is on Twitter at RayRayPod, REYREY Pod. Yeah, that covers all the shows. Happy to chat, just comics in general.
Because Ray likes it hard.
Except no substitutes.
That's right. The Moon Knight podcast. All right. And you can get a hold of us, find links to, email us. What did you think of Falcon and Winter Soldier? We got 5 more episodes to go. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Find links to all of those, links to this YouTube channel, links to merch, links to Patreon, all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support the sponsors. Tweaked Audio, right, Charlie Esser?
Right. I can hear you because of Tweaked Audio headphones, which I'm actually not using, but they're awesome. So here.
And also pick up Hunt the Killer, Escape Room in a Box.
Hey, you know what? And on either site, you can use the coupon code Southgate at checkout to get a great discount on both Hunt the Killer or Tweaked Audio.
Yeah.
And also pick up Pod Life the book, now in digital and paperback. Learn about the world of podcasting from some experts and Rob Southgate.
When they do that, they should go down to our show notes to click on the link to Amazon.
That's right.
To make that purchase and anything else they want, because it costs them nothing and it helps out the show.
Yes, it helps support this show, the network, and that man in the purple mask, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Mark my words.
All right, Charlie Esser, give him your big finish.
Well, you can always write to me at the old-fashioned email, either where Maz and Boz once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. Of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet things, but no longer DuckTales. As that final episode has aired. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE. Yes, SCR. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
for quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
All right, Ray, get ready to say Lunatics in your best little Hellfire voice. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Come back next week when we get our big roundtable together to discuss we got a big group of people to discuss a big movie, Justice League the Snyder Cut. And then in 2 weeks, we'll cover the first couple episodes of the Invincible animated series on Amazon. Alright, so, for another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics.
Nice.
That was a good one.
That's cool. Can't wait for the rest of these episodes.
Who you gonna call to come get a pitbull out of the gang's yard?
Just realized I gotta wait like 3 weeks to discuss the Invincible comic that I picked up.
Ooh, we have to discuss the comic.
Well, I have to read it first.
Alright, of course, I can only end this episode one way. Catch ya.
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.